the Panasonic Q, a Japanese GameCube stroke DVD player unit. Something that I would describe as a premium rate device, and I really, really like it. I've got to say, I really like the look of it. It looks absolutely lovely, and essentially it's a Japanese GameCube, so it can only play Japanese GameCube games, but it can also play Japanese DVDs because it's got a full-sized DVD-ROM tray inside it, which is pretty awesome. These things, they're quite costly compared to a normal GameCube. They cost quite a bit of money. Even sort of faulty, they go for a couple of £100. And yeah, essentially I decided to pick one up. And I'd love to say that mine looks like this, but unfortunately, this is the reality of what mine looks like. Yeah, mine is in a lot of pieces right now, and there's a reason for it. And I thought it'd be a good idea to make this video because initially I didn't find an awful lot of information about Panasonic Q and about any issues that it might have actually had. There was one that I expected straight away, which was the belt for the DVD drive tray. I was absolutely 100% expecting that belt to have perished, to have gone bad, which will stop the tray from ejecting. But that was the least of my issues. One of the big issues that the Panasonic Q has had for a lot of people, this one included, is the plastic that goes down the sides of the DVD drive. What happens is it starts to go brittle, it starts fracturing, it starts falling to pieces. I mean, you can see my one here. Another piece of plastic is about to chunk off of it. Some of the supports for it have already chunked off and gone, and they're rattling around in the bottom of the machine. And yeah, it looks pretty bad. Now, I've already rectified the tray. I've already actually replaced the belt. That's already been done. But this thing has other issues because of these rails. Basically, the tray won't operate correctly. And also, more critically, this DVD drive will not sit where it should do and not sit correctly inside the Panasonic Q itself. And Simon Locke, a really awesome guy who does retro console repairs, retro computer repairs. He's currently working on my Sega Multi-Mega for me at the moment because that still has issues. He also pointed out that there can be an issue with the spindle. Unfortunately, I've put the cover back on this so I can't show you. Yeah, the top of the spindle has got some kind of compound on it, and mine has started to disintegrate. So that's another thing that needs to be addressed with this machine. Now, I have found 3D printed replacement bits for the sides, for the rails, which is great news. Because I honestly thought, yeah, this is going to be big trouble. If I can't somehow patch this up and at least make this workable, because you can see I've tried to, which, yeah, that's a pretty pathetic attempt to try and patch this thing up. But anyway, if I couldn't patch this thing up, I honestly thought I'm in big trouble because the Panasonic Q is quite a rare and expensive machine. So trying to find working replacement bits that aren't going to cost the earth, I thought was going to be extremely difficult, to say the least. Anyway, I've actually managed to source a company that 3D prints parts, and somebody had uploaded a design of these rails, these side rails for the DVD drive. So I've ordered some of those. They'll be on their way to me. They're literally just screwed on at the bottom here. So I've actually found the screws that are missing at the moment from this. So I can replace those rails, not a problem, get the DVD drive back together again. But for the spindle, this one is going to have to go to Simon Locke because he has actually worked on Panasonic Qs and has done repairs to spindle issues. So yeah, this one's going to be coming your way, Simon, if that's all good, mate, as we discussed. Because there's no way that I'm going to be able to do anything with that, unfortunately. But yeah, it's just to give you guys a bit of awareness that I didn't really do my research. I picked this up thinking, yeah, no problems. It's just going to be a tray issue. The tray's stuck. You know, the tray's stuck out because the belt's gone or the mechanism's gone. Not so. And the person that sold this to me, he said that if I found some kind of solution or something, you know, for the tray, for the rails here, he wanted me to sort of give him some information. And I did. I sent him the company called Shapeways that does 3D printing. I pointed him straight to the design that he could get printed off by them if he wanted to, because he had other Panasonic Qs with a very, very similar problem that he needed to get fixed. And if he got those bits printed off, he'd also be able to fix those Panasonic Qs. So I'm also doing my bit to try and help out someone else at the same time. So, you know, that's got to be something, right? But yeah, this thing, a bit of a nightmare to disassemble. It's going to be as much of a nightmare, if not more so, to put it back together again. But yeah, guys, I thought I'd just document a pickup, a faulty pickup that I thought was going to be straightforward, but actually it's a lot more extensive than that. It needs much more work than just a DVD drive belt being replaced. Because it's a shame, because I really like the Q. Other than the drive, the machine actually fires on. I can actually get the DVD sort of splash screen. And I can also get it to go into Nintendo GameCube mode. So you'll get the GameCube logo and the Japanese text on the menu screens. I can get all that to appear, so that's promising. It means the rest of the machine appears to work. There is another downside, and that is that somebody has really gone to town on the optical out port on the back of this GameCube, back of this Nintendo Q, the back of this Panasonic Q. Yeah, I'll get there eventually. On the back of this Panasonic Q, they've actually attacked that optical out port. I think they've snapped off the internals of it because, you know, the connection can jam in there. I know that. I've been there before with devices that have used optical in my setup. But you've just got to be careful when pulling the optical cable back out of the port. And what's happened is they've actually damaged the internal, so the port would need to be replaced. So that needs to be desoldered and removed from the board. Again, not sure if that's something I'm going to be able to do. I might have to speak to Simon on that one, Simon Locke, and see if he's happy to replace that optical port, because it'd be really nice to have this thing properly sorted and back to me. But anyway, guys, hope you've enjoyed this little look at me getting things totally wrong. And yeah, hopefully the next time I talk to you about this Panasonic Q, it'll be back together and I'll be demonstrating it working. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you again soon.